The purpose of this movie is to show you how you can adjust grades and print out a report card for a student who has moved out of your class. Often we still need to print one more report card to be sent on to their new school, but since they've already been removed from our class, you can't find them on your list to print that report. But we can access those records still. So if I go from my main page, this is after I've logged into Skyward Student Management, and I'm on my teacher opening page. I'm going to go to my gradebook, and then I'm just going to go into my homeroom, click on Standards Gradebook. And once I'm in one of my classes, I have all of my options for displays and reports. And I'm going to go here to Display Options. If I click on the first choice, which is Student Display, I get some choices of how I want the students to show up on my gradebook. In the second column here, the second section, which is titled Display Options, I have the option to show dropped students. So if I click there and then click Save, now any students that were dropped from my class will now show up on my list again. And I can go in and I can edit any grades just like I always did. Probably easiest to go to that student's name, because then you get all of their scores for that entire subject area, and I can go ahead and enter scores for skills and then save them. You will need to do that for each of the different grade areas. So for example, you would want to do it under homeroom, language arts, math, whatever subject areas there are for that student. Remember that once you have finished adjusting their grades the way you would like them to be, you should go back to Display Options, click on Student Display again, and then uncheck Dropped Students. That way they won't show up on your list every time that you go in to do your grades on a normal basis. And then be sure to save that. Once you have all of your grades looking the way you want them to, you will go to Reports. Again, I'm just in my homeroom gradebook, and down to Custom Report Card, just like you would for printing anybody else's report cards. When you click on Custom Report Card, you will come to this screen, and by default you will have the current term active class report sitting there. But this report will not print out anyone who is no longer in the class. So you will want to go over here and clone that template. So when we clone it, it asks us to rename this template. So you could name it Dropped Students or whatever makes sense to you, and then save. Once you save, it allows you to change the parameters of that report. You would want to keep it on current term, but down here under Options, you would want to check the box that says Print All Dropped Classes. That's what's going to allow those students who are no longer enrolled to show up on the report. And then go ahead and save. Now you can see that Dropped Students that I just created is the template that's highlighted, and I'm ready to go, just like when I print any other report card. I would suggest that you go down here to select different students as opposed to just printing. Printing will run the report for the entire class, as the little message shows us. But if you go down to select different students, you can clear all of them except for the one that you do want. And then when you click print, the job won't take quite as long because you're not trying to print for the entire class. You're just trying to print for that one student. So when the report is done, you will get this message, and go ahead and click Display Report. If you're in Firefox like I am, the report will open up either in Adobe or in Preview. If you are in Safari, it'll open up right within Safari. and then you're able to see the report card of that student that was dropped. And then you can, file print, do whatever it is that you need to do to get that report card ready to go. The dropped students template that I just created will remain here as a template. So I could keep it there if I know that I'm going to have another student who will be moving out and I'll have to do this again. Just remember, when you go to print your actual report cards for your class, you can click back on this current term active class again. If you don't want it there because you don't want it to confuse you, you can always click right on it so that it's highlighted and then just go and delete that template, and then it won't be there anymore.